Mayor Craig Ringberg presents the key to the city to the Louisville Orchestra. District 11 Councilman Kevin Kramer takes us on a tour of the Rockdale Historic Home. And downtown Louisville is thriving with $1.5 billion of investment currently underway. All that and more on Louisville This Week. I'm John Ramsey, Director of City Partnerships. Mayor Craig Ringberg and Deputy Mayor Barbara Sexton Smith announced a major change in the administration.
Mayor, I love this work, and it loves me back. You've heard me say that many times. I tell people all the time, love what you do, and it will love you back tenfold. And I have always said that a leader should step over when he or she or they are at their peak performance. So now, Mayor, I am ready to step over again, and I am ready to step into what I love the most, and that is my life and my work with Lacey. That's right, Lacey and I have built a great life together. We celebrated 30 years just last year.
Barbara and I first met 20 years ago this year. We were both in the same Leadership Louisville class, and we immediately hit it off during that Leadership Louisville class. And over those 20 years, I've accurately heard you referred to by a lot of names. The Energizer Bunny, a force to be reckoned with, pastor, CEO, problem solver, advisor, solution maker, motivational speaker, fundraiser extraordinaire, a rainmaker, councilwoman, campaign chair, and now deputy mayor. Today, I know you wanted to make this announcement, so we are. I'm glad you're not leaving until April 15th, so we have more time together, so our city has more days to benefit from your leadership, and so we have time to appropriately celebrate your contributions to this administration, to public service, to our city. So we can and we will do this. Barbara, you will be so missed by all of us who have the privilege of working with you every day. I know we'll still stay close friends, and I'm excited to look forward to your continued contributions to this city and to this country over the coming years together. Thank you so much for everything you have done for me, for our administration, and our city. You're welcome. And so as we move forward after April 15th, as many of you all know, that state law requires there to be one appointed deputy mayor in addition to the other amazing deputy mayors that we have. And so I'm very excited to announce that on April 15th, following Barbara's departure, Deputy Mayor for Emergency Services, David James, will become our deputy mayor. He will
Mayor Craig Ringberg and Governor Andy Beshear were on hand for an exciting announcement at the University of Louisville JB Speed School of Engineering.
We're here to announce today construction of the site of a building that will serve as a hub for next-generation engineering education, research, and student life, all aimed at driving the growth of Kentucky's technology-enabled economy.
For decades, this institution has produced the chemists and the civil, electrical, and mechanical engineers who have helped shape our world. With this modern facility, U of L is proving that the future remains ours, and that Kentuckians will be at the table creating the next 100 years. And that's really exciting.
With the changes happening around us so fast in technology and the economy, we need more of them than ever before. We in the city, we recently released our first in a decade economic development strategy plan. It's called Growing Louisville Together. Dr. Schatzel had a big role to play as one of the stakeholders who helped us put together that plan along with others from across the entire city. And in developing that plan, it became clear that Louisville is poised for tremendous growth to support that continued growth that the governor was just talking about. And in order to do that, we need a strong university. And the good news is U of L is poised to support that growth as well.
At the Mayor's weekly press conference, he and Executive Director of Louisville Downtown Partnership, Rebecca Flyshaker, discussed all the development underway in the heart of the city, downtown.
Derby City Gaming right here is a great example of the momentum and the excitement that's going on in downtown Louisville right now. This is a $90 million investment that Churchill Downs Incorporated made into the heart of our city. We are very thankful to the great corporate citizen Churchill Downs for making this investment, for showing their commitment to our city. And we know that thousands of people locally and around the country and world are enjoying this great new venue already. And as we ramp up into the spring, even more people.
I like to say that economic development is the long game, and we have come a long way from COVID.
These types of investments are incredibly important because one of our administration's priorities is to make downtown Louisville an even more powerful economic engine.
The amount of investment occurring right now in downtown, to the tune of $1.5 billion, is nearly double what it was in 2019. Double. This is large infrastructure projects such as Waterfront Park Phase 4 and the East Market Streetscape project, tourism projects such as several new bourbon experiences, new housing at the former Greyhound and Brown Brothers Cadillac sites, and business development continuing to occur with businesses moving to downtown from the suburbs.
What happens downtown helps improve the lives of people from all across our city and all across our state. Downtown is the one neighborhood that unites us all, that unites all neighborhoods. And obviously, our downtown, just like other downtowns, are evolving. In this post-COVID world, we're seeing dramatic changes in the way people work, in our economy, and in technology. Well, the good news is that we're also seeing terrific momentum right here in downtown Louisville. We're seeing tourism numbers like never before, and this coming May is going to shatter them all.
The mayor also provided an update on the Reimagine 9th Street project.
On top of all of this, we must continue to invest in our infrastructure, in downtown and across our entire city. And that's why I'm excited that our administration is moving full steam ahead on the long overdue efforts to reimagine 9th Street.
Currently, 9th Street is a 6-lane thoroughfare designed to bring cars quickly in and out of downtown. Reimagining 9th Street creates a unique opportunity to convert a roadway that divides into a neighborhood street that connects, an accessible corridor, a space where people can gather, walk, ride the tar, bike, and drive safely, and ultimately a place people want to visit. And we'll have a public meeting very soon so that the people living on those streets can get the full details of what's coming to their neighborhood. Construction on these conversions could start as early as 2025.
And this week's Louisvillian Doing Good is the Academy of Shawnee teacher, Norman Ellis.
I think many of us can agree that some of the best people in the world are teachers. They give so much of their time to support our children, our community, and our future. One of those amazing teachers is with us here today, and that's Norman Ellis, who teaches social studies and serves as the head men's basketball coach at Academy of Shawnee. Norman makes a positive impact daily on the lives of his students, inside of his school, and he helps empower his students by encouraging them to achieve all of their goals, whatever they might be. We are taking your advice, and we're celebrating a great thing in Louisville, and that's to celebrate you. You are leading by example, and you're inspiring all of us to maintain that positivity and to continue to talk about all of the great things and share the great things that are happening in our city.
I'm going to leave you with a quote. Don't judge each day by the harvest, but by the seeds that you plant. And every day, you know, it's a challenge, but believe in the seeds that you plant, and it will come in fruition. And that's what's going on at the Academy of Shawnee. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Norman, and congrats to your entire family. And if you all play Manual next week, as we said, please don't beat them up too badly because my nephew's on the Manual men's basketball. Thursday. Okay, Thursday. All right. Well, be kind to them. Be kind to them.
The Grammy-winning Louisville Orchestra received the first key to the city that Mayor Greenberg has given out during his time in office.
I thought it was only fitting that for the first time since I've been mayor, it is time to issue a key to the city, to Teddy and the Louisville Orchestra. So we are here to recognize you all with the first key to the city that I have had the honor to present to an individual and to an entire organization that is working to make our city safer, stronger, and healthier. Thank you all so much for what you've done, and congratulations.
Wow, thank you. Oh my gosh. Look at this.
Well, it's an honor to be here with Teddy Abrams and the entire Louisville Orchestra today to present the first key to the city that I've presented as mayor. To Teddy and the Louisville Orchestra for their accomplishments. They've recently won a Grammy, but in addition to that, they have shown that music is a key to bringing our city together. They've done that around the state. They've done that right here in Louisville. The Louisville Orchestra and Teddy are innovators. They're making our city safer, stronger, and healthier. And so it's my honor to present that key to Teddy today.
On behalf of everybody here at the orchestra, we're so grateful for your leadership and for your support and care for this institution. I knew we put out a very special album that was the product of so many people's extremely hard work. You don't really count on anything, and you definitely don't expect to win. So it was absolutely a shock, and I kind of walked up there in a bit of a daze. And so apparently what I said made sense, but I was definitely nervous that it was just going to come out in a big jumble because it was so overwhelming. The whole point of the Grammy was to bring it home for our city. So it belongs to every Louisvillian, belongs to all of Kentucky, and that's what we're so proud of. It's something we share with everyone. This is a recognition not just for the great work the orchestra does historically, but for the specific quality that we have right now. It is a world-class orchestra, and I'm not just saying that. So people need to come hear it. Please, we would love nothing more than for folks to be completely overwhelmed by the sound that you're going to hear from our orchestra. So come to the concerts that are coming up and come next season.
The Metro Council met this week, and here's a recap of what they discussed.
Hi, I'm Marcus Winkler, Metro Council President and Representative of District 17. The Metro Council just had a regularly scheduled meeting. Here are some of the highlights. The Council approved an ordinance amending infrastructure projects associated with the bipartisan infrastructure law, approved a planned development at 2119 Griffiths Avenue, approved an ordinance expanding Louisville Metro's parental leave eligibility relating to kinship care, approved the closure of a portion of Brandeis Avenue and 3rd Street to create a pedestrian area, accepted funds from the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet towards the Arnoldtown Road resurfacing project. The Council approved funds for the following neighborhood projects: the 21st Annual Kentucky Derby for Harbor House of Louisville, Adelante Hispanic Achievers for a Youth Mentorship Program. Councilwoman Shamika Parrish-Wright recognized the District 3 page Dynasty Rain L. Murray. Thanks for your interest in your Metro government. You can see all of our meetings live on Louisville Metro TV, Spectrum Channel 184. You can also tune in online at louisvillegov.primegov.com/public/portal. If you'd like to contact your Metro Council representative, go to louisvilleky.gov/MetroCouncil.
Don Wenzel, the new owner of Rockdale, a beautifully preserved series of historic structures on 13 acres, takes District 11 Councilman Kevin Kramer on a tour of the property.
Hi, my name is Kevin Kramer. I'm Council Representative for District 11. I'm here with Don Wenzel on the Tyler Settlement property. Don's been kind enough to invite us out to take a look at this settlement that was established before Kentucky. The original documentation has the stamp of the state of Virginia. So I'm grateful that Don's been willing to meet up with out here and walk around on the property and just give us a sense of what's right here in our own backyard just past J-Town.
Thanks for coming out. It's great to have you here and enjoy this wonderful treasure in District 11. We are standing on the land that's part of the original Tyler settlement. Edward Tyler received a land grant for about 600 acres for his service in the Revolutionary War. And that's what really started this settlement. The brick house was built in about 1845 by Edward Tyler's granddaughter, who had married Joseph Sweeney, a preacher from Pennsylvania who apparently was doing pretty well with his preaching. We have now about 13.5 acres of the original settlement property. We're going to tour several of the structures today.
We've talked a couple times about you buying it.
April of 2021.
Wow, so you've only had it for a short time.
We had done several historic renovations in the past. This one was a true gem. It's pretty rare to get several historic structures on one parcel of land. To have it be this close to the city center, 15 miles from downtown, and to have a spot of land like this so close to town is a real treasure. We're actually only the 4th owners of this land since the 1700s. That's a pretty remarkable thing, and I think it explains in part why nothing ever got too ruffled on the property. The structures had amazing integrity. Clearly they needed rehabilitation. The circular drive, you couldn't get through it. So much invasive growth. The property is on the National Historic Register. As a result, we did qualify for rehabilitation tax credits. It's a really beautiful symbiotic relationship where the renovation you do has to be to the exacting standards of the National Historic Trust, but you're pretty well incented by significant tax credits as a result. That's really, I think, the main driver that brought us here and inspired us to restore this magnificent place. And with that, maybe we should just step inside.
I think that's a great idea. Let's go ahead and take a look.
This main house did not have electricity or water until 1968, when the Harris family, Richard and Patricia Harris, bought the property from the original Tyler Sweeney family. So it stayed in the Tyler family for the first 200 years of its existence.
So no running water inside the house?
No running water inside the house.
No cistern, nothing?
Well, there was a cistern.
But not running water?
But not running water inside the house.
Wow.
Yeah. So they had outhouses, obviously, and
sure.
Yeah, that's pretty remarkable, isn't it?
It is remarkable. Yeah. And it's remarkable to me that the kitchen was in the limestone house.
Yes. Most of that has been captured through oral history, which, may not always be the most reliable indicator, but that makes it a little fun too.
Sure.
Essentially, the house is what I consider a 4 square times 2. 4 large rooms, about 20 by 20. Each has a fireplace, how they heated the house in the mid 1800s. All of the original floors are still existing in the house. They're made out of bald cypress. They were milled on the property in remarkable condition. We were able to save every original door, every original window, every original molding. That's part of the integrity process when you work with the National Historic Trust. They really want as much as you can save of the original elements. They really want you to do that. We very much respected that. We wanted to do it. It's 54 feet long from the front door threshold to what was originally the back of the house before you got to the porch, where undoubtedly they did some of their canning and farming. That's a pretty gracious entrance. It's something that you don't see today. So these are all hand done. The original banister, there's a wonderful detail on the scalloping and the molding. It's actually hand carved acorns that go all the way around the perimeter of the stairway. One of the neat things about this house, you have these grand walls, and you can feature some really amazing pieces of art. And as featured in this room, you can hang parlor style, right? So multiple paintings tiered right up the wall. If you look at the moldings, they're pretty simple. Each one is anchored solid. For strength, see how the new connection? The simplicity.
Right. And the functionality.
We redid the 4 fireplaces on the main floor and then left the 4 upstairs as not working. 4 tall chimneys that you saw. Each services 2
different
fireplaces.
You can't share a flue, right?
You can't share a flue.
Yeah.
No, nor would you want it to. The Heritage Council said it's a prominent feature of the house and you can't change the ratio of wood frame to glass. So we ended up rebuilding a 1 door that looked like the 3 different segments that used to be there. That was a project.
I'm sure. Do you know what the original door looked like? Have you been able to find pictures?
We have some pictures from the late 1800s, but this is a pretty wonderful feature. Large enough for your morning coffee and just a really nice perch to view some of the land, the property. It's a really unusual treatment being done in brick, not one that I've actually seen before. Copper gutters and your copper gutter boxes.
How much of the furniture in here did you try to get to be period pieces?
We bought 7 pieces from Elaine Harris, including the Lincoln bed, in part because some of the pieces were so large, I don't think she could have gotten them out of the house. and they're really beautiful. So there's
So some of the furniture you bought from the previous owner then, from
Elaine Harris, which I think had been here from the Tyler days. I mean, that bed definitely was. One of the objectives here was to really update and make it functional and livable for modern day living. And it's your home.
It's not a museum for you. This is where you live.
It's not, yeah. We actually live here, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So this was literally a vacant changing room, and we completely reclaimed the space and designed and built a full bathroom and closet and laundry combination.
And the stone house is right here?
Right. Oh, stone house is right there.
Great. wander out that way next.
And we're gonna have a door where the middle window is, and you're gonna spill out.
Oh, then yes, absolutely.
Yeah. A small event space as a private club. The treatment of the rehabilitation will be authentic to a true stick-built barn.
Oh, gosh, it's gonna be beautiful.
One of the original log cabins on the property, of which there were several, was sited on that location. Cabin, of course, since fell over. I've retained most of the logs in the barn, so I will be able to reuse them, I think, for the Springhouse project. But I built a stone terrace on the perimeter of the cabin. It sort of is an homage to what used to be there, and it's a practical, usable space. But retaining and rehabilitating that chimney from the 1700s is fantastic. It's amazing how straight the edges are for masons that worked 246 years ago. This limestone ledge is dulcimite limestone and was used, quarried here, to build the original stone house. And if you look closely at the color palette, you can see that, of course, it is a match. Use what was on the land. Well, this is the real gem. You can almost smell the history.
How many years would this house have been the primary residence?
1783 to 1845, just shy of 60 years. Yeah, raised 3 boys here. Yeah, which was cozy.
And it would explain why they continue to use this house then once they built the new one.
Correct.
I mean, it's a limestone building. It's not going anywhere, right? So,
Exactly. You realize how quiet it is in here when we shut that door?
Right.
23-inch solid limestone walls. All of your original beams, original floors. Tulip poplar, again milled on the property. So they didn't use nails in that day. So it's all constructed with little wooden dowels. It's not a generous space. We call it cozy.
Yes.
It would be incredible to think about who has walked across these floors.
And all the different uses for it in the years, after the building, what is now the main house.
Correct. Shall we go upstairs?
Yes.
Because the sink is in the room, it feels more like a piece of furniture.
Right.
Than it does a utility sink.
Yeah.
Right.
I looked at it and saw it, and I was like, then I noticed the plumbing underneath. It's actually a sink.
It's actually
a working sink.
It is actually a working sink. And then was able to tuck a commode and a shower.
It's not as small as you would think.
Yeah. Found this chandelier in Charlotte. It looks like it could have been original to the cabin.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. Well, Don, thank you very much for first opening your house to us and giving us a show around the place. It's amazing what you've done out here. And I think even more importantly than thanks for letting me and us walk through, thanks for what you've done for the community. Even if people don't recognize it's here, it's quite a jewel. And
Thank you.
We are losing way too fast so much of our history. And meeting someone who takes such a passion to take such good care of this gem is just overwhelming. So again, thank you.
It feels like a custodial relationship in a sense. It's like we don't necessarily own it. We're just caretaking it for the next generation. But thank you. I appreciate that. And thank you for coming out and showing an interest in the place. Really means a lot. Thank you.
We love what you've done. It's beautiful.
Thank you so much.
If you'd like to learn more about this house, you can search for Historic Edward Tyler Stone Cabin on Facebook. Street sweeping season is about to begin.
Street sweeping season. Each area gets 3 sweepings a year. We got a lot of new things going on this year. After the pandemic, kind of took it light on enforcement because we had so many people at home. So I think we're trying to get back in the swing of enforcing so we can do a good job. You know, us having to go around a lot of cars, that kind of makes it more difficult. So this year we're really kind of focusing on the education of knowing when we're coming. LouisvilleKY.gov, you can sign up for our app. You will get alerts. You can get emails or text messages. So we think it's really important. They'll let you know when we'll be coming. You'll get a weekly alert ahead of us coming, and then the day before we come, you will get an alert. We don't really want to have to ticket or tow people, so I think if we get people to comply, then it makes our job a lot easier, and it saves the citizens money. It's a focus for the new administration, and we really plan on having a really good season, and one of our most productive ones.
The Office for Safe and Healthy Neighborhoods was awarded $2 million from the Department of Justice for a 3-year pilot program to reduce gun violence in Louisville's Newburgh neighborhood.
This afternoon, we have come to share the good news that the United States Department of Justice has awarded our Office of Safe and Healthy Neighborhoods a $2 million in federal funding to launch a pilot program to reduce gun violence right here in Newburgh. This pilot program will be called the Newburgh Gun Violence Reduction Project, and it will be a 3-year pilot that focuses on a very specific geographical approach to identify and implement neighborhood-specific solutions. Through this program, the Office of Safe and Healthy Neighborhoods will be adding an interrupter site right here in Newburgh, and that brings our total to 6 such sites across the city.
You hear it all the time. They find a lady here shot, stabbed, or whatever. So this gun violence, any kind of violence, needs to stop, and we have to work with the nonprofits and whatever it is to get some different programs in here to help our youth. So I just hope and pray that we can do this and it can stop some of the killing that we have around here.
There is a new wind blowing in our community. None of us can do it all by ourselves, but together we can and we will make a difference. Please know, government, we thank you for your support and recognition, and I'm sure that you understand that we will remain vigilant and we will do all that we can to make sure that these funds are shepherded well and that we are good stewards of the public trust. So together we can. Everybody can't do it all, but everybody can do something. And together we will.
We've been aiming to expand this violence interruption program into Newburgh since we originally launched the initial 5. This grant gave us an opportunity to accomplish that, but at the same time gave us an opportunity to develop, as I said earlier, that micro-level approach. Part of the success of that micro-level approach really depends upon the relationships between people in that community, whether it's between the leaders and the stakeholders and the community and the residents. And Newburgh has a solid foundation for that under the leadership of Councilman Shanklin and the Ministerial Alliance down here. There was a network in place that was quickly and readily available to step up for us to work with to help guide this project.
Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful week.